Shalom, shalom. We're still reading in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 35 to 39, about Yeshua's first two disciples and their awkward first prayer. I read the Bible text for you. Again the next day, and that refers to the day after the priest and the Levites asked John if he was the Messiah. John the Baptizer was standing with two of his disciples and watched Yeshua walking by. He said, "Behold, the Lamb of God." The two disciples heard him say this, and they followed Yeshua. And Yeshua turned around and saw them following, and he said to them, "What are you looking for?" And they said to him, "Rabbi," which is translated as teacher. I think that's a gloss into the biblical text and not original. They said to him, "Rabbi, where are you staying?" "Come and see," Yeshua told them. So they came and saw where he was staying, and they spent the day with him. It was about the 10th hour. That's about 4 p.m. or 16 hours in the afternoon. And the meaning is probably that they spent the rest of the day with him, the last 2 hours of the day or so. Responding to John the Baptizer's testimony, these two disciples who were John the Baptizer's disciples, they started to follow Yeshua as his first two disciples. But their initial following was maybe merely a spies to see where he resided, presumably to report his whereabouts to John the Baptizer. It was Yeshua who broke the ice by asking what they were looking for by spying on him, and their answer is the initial prayer was, "Rabbi, where are you staying?" And it seems like a simple enough question until we dig into it. But we have to start with Yeshua's initial question to grasp what transpired. In the Greek text, Yeshua asked a double question, and the second is not translated into English. He asked, "What are you looking for?" and added, "Hoi." Hoi is not translated. Hoi is one of the Greek forms of the Hebrew et, the Aleph Tav, Strong's word number 3588. Et is often, in fact, more than 3,500 times in the more than 9,800 times that it occurs in the Tanakh, in the Old Testament. It's not translated into the English translations of the Bible. And it starts, the first time it is not translated is in Genesis 1 verse 1, where it's written that Elohim et created the heavens and the earth. Et, the Aleph Tav, is the God of creation. Et remained concealed by the Bible translations throughout the prophets, and his identity is only revealed in the book of Revelation, but still not clearly revealed. There we read that Yeshua is et, the Aleph Tav. So then Yeshua's double question was whether the two disciples were looking for him, the Alpha and the Omega, when et, which is Aleph Tav, is transliterated from Hebrew into Greek. Then Aleph Tav becomes the Alpha and the Omega. The Bible translators unwittingly serve to conceal Yeshua's true identity from casual readers, so that only those who really are looking and searching for him will be found by him. In response to Yeshua, the disciples asked him where he resided. In this instance, Yeshua invited them along to show them where, and they spent the rest of the day with him. But later on, in Matthew 8 verse 20, and also in Luke 9 verse 58, Yeshua gave the following answer to this question about his residence. There he said, "Foxes have holes and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." And that answer relates to family as much as it relates to a place to rest. And it also tells us that he will not rest in a grave because he has conquered death. It has resurrection implications. The two disciples walked with Yeshua as Adam walked with Elohim in the coolness of the afternoon. And the parallel to Genesis 3 verse 2 is meaningful. But I'm going to leave that for another occasion, otherwise these short podcasts become too long. Shalom, shalom.